Hey guys, welcome to Philadelphia. I'm Dejan Kovacevic. He's Chris Halleck. He's Greg McAfee. We're from DK Pittsburgh Sports. The Steelers lost to the Eagles just now, 27-13, here at Lincoln Financial Field. And what's your first thought? First thing that comes to mind?
Time of possession.
Time of possession.
Eagles had the ball for I think it was 8 seconds short of 40 minutes. That is suffocating for the Steelers.
Especially at the end.
Yes, especially at the end. Obviously, the big play there in the second half was the Najee Harris fumble. The Eagles get the ball back. They have a long drive. They go down and score a touchdown. Steelers have another failed drive. They punt the ball away. Kind of a questionable decision to punt it there.
Hated it.
And then the Eagles get the ball back. They get the ball back with 10.5 minutes to go, and they never gave it back. That's suffocating time of possession.
First thoughts.
The lack of a running game, failure to produce on possession downs, things that the offense just didn't look good to start the game.
It was catastrophic to start the game.
It was not good at all. I think they had 2 or 3 and outs to start the game. Running game looked nothing on first and second downs, and the guys downstairs mentioned it. I mean, that's kind of what the game changer was right there.
Yeah, I think when you get right down to it and you think about those 2 early forced fumbles and fumble recoveries, and the Steelers coming away from that with 3 total points, that's you. More often than not, you're going to get punished in the worst way for that. And the Steelers, I have something to say. The Steelers didn't get punished, okay? They kept playing. Mm-hmm. They stayed resilient. Mm-hmm. They stayed in the game.
Yep.
Even the offense bounced back.
I mean, it was a 4-point game at halftime. I mean, they were hanging around.
Even the offense began getting, and not so much runs, but there were some passes and some things opened up. And I got to tell you guys, I don't expect too many people will agree with me. I kind of like this. I thought there was plenty to take away from this, from the positive sense, and even the stuff that was negative. And this is what all 3 of us heard this in the locker room just now. There was a lot to take from the standpoint that they were hurting themselves with things that they don't necessarily do on a regular basis, like the fumble.
Najee rarely ever fumbles at all, and so I think that's the one reason. If you're looking for any solace here, is that the sky isn't falling here. This is just, they made a lot of mistakes against a really, really good football team. You can afford to make that many mistakes. They might have even made even more mistakes whenever they played back in Denver back in week 2. But you can win that game because Denver was a bad football team back then. You can't do that against an 11-2 Eagles team. You will lose games like that. It doesn't mean that your team is bad. It doesn't mean the Steelers are a bad football team. It just means that they shot themselves in the foot over and over and over.
If the sky is falling, by the way, it needs to fall on the other side of this parking lot. I was never going to make it through this show without doing that. At least one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Russell Wilson put it just like Chris said. They shot themselves in the foot tonight. They did things that they normally don't do, like you said. And, the penalties, the missed tackles on third downs, just kind of everything. I mean, all simple mistakes that they can fix. And like the age-old saying goes, I mean, you learn more from losses than you do.
That was, Calvin Austin said something to me downstairs that kind of stuck with me, which was that he said, if we start a fraction faster than we did, and we don't make some of the mistakes that we made that were completely self-inflicted and uncommon for them.
Personal fouls.
Yeah.
Well, one of them shouldn't even have been the one on Montrevious Adams. I mean, he told me he actually checked with the ref behind him, and the ref said, here's exactly what you do. So he goes and does exactly that. Guard shoves him into the, whatever.
Yeah. It's just how it goes.
No, they had some things go against them. They had some things that they did not do well.
Yeah.
In terms of, situational things.
Yeah.
But they were still there.
Yeah.
And if that's not, I don't know. I've been saying all week that I think that's the best team in the league at the moment. And I'm sure that either the Bills or the Lions would have something to say about that. Maybe the Bills right now more than anybody. But that to me is the Steelers, I think, took another step toward becoming one of those teams. They're not gonna watch those teams now on TV and go, gosh, wow, do you think we can hang with them? They were just here and hung.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the 2022 game. We were here 2 years ago. There was a clear difference between a good football team and a bad football team. That wasn't the case here tonight.
Not
that
after
was
the first quarter, anyway. But yeah, and even in the first quarter, you had them taking the ball away.
Yeah.
Twice.
Defense took it away, special teams. No.
I mean, if there's one thing that goes a different way, I mean, the end score might be different here at the end.
But again,
One thing,
yeah.
the fumble.
Yeah, that special, but that special teams takeaway. You know, when Cooper
Robinson.
DeJean, Cooper DeJean fumbles it, Mark Robinson forces it. They get the ball. If they don't have that personal foul after Najee gets it within the 5-yard line, I mean, pretty good chance they score a touchdown there. All of a sudden, they've answered that, and they put a touchdown on the board off that turnover. They didn't do that. They shot themselves in the foot. Again, it was just constant mistakes, penalties, miscommunications, lack of execution. I mean, that's Pat Freiermuth. Pretty much his answer to every question was lack of execution. We just didn't play. We didn't do things right.
He's man, that guy's a truth teller and a half. Those people out there, by the way, the ones watching this, you see them out there? You know what they're doing? You're yelling at us right now. They're saying pitch outs. You have not yet discussed the pitch outs. So we are here to discuss pitch outs to close this out. Have we seen the last one?
No.
Nope.
No.
Sorry. Thanks for watching.
They're sticking around.
They're not going anywhere. It's too big a part of the offense, whether anyone likes it or not. And if they look at it and they say to themselves, well, you know, this was just a one in a zillion chance, which is, I'm sure, what we're going to hear from everybody all week long, particularly Arthur Smith. What's the chances of Najee fumbling? He never fumbles.
He never does.
They can justify it.
Yeah.
But the pitch outs don't work with him no matter what you do, even when he doesn't fumble the ball.
No, I mean, it was consistent throughout the first half, and then obviously the big fumble changed the game in the second half.
Oh, yeah, it cost the game.
Yeah, it cost the game.
That was a turning point in the game. But yeah, I mean, this offense at this point, Arthur Smith will continue to make tweaks, and it will continue to evolve the way the offense goes about its business. But the core identity is still there, and that is you're going to do a lot of outside zone runs. That's going to come with some pitches to Najee and Jalen both.
And Russ also has a history.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to his time in Seattle and everything, Russ has been a pitch-out guy and is very, very comfortable moving in that offense. And then Russ, he did nothing wrong on that play other than checking into it. I'm not about to blame him for it anyway.
Right.
So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Sorry if that disappointed as much as the game did, but you're stuck with pitch-outs.